So what is the methodology that we are going to use in the class? Assume breach. So out of multiple lingos that Microsoft's marketing has used in the past decade, assume breach is probably my favorite. It is also a part of their enterprise access model or the privileged access strategy that replaced the ESAE. So in case of assume breach, it is a proactive security methodology. So the traditional security used to be an assumption that, okay, there is a perimeter, and just like World War One, you have dug trenches and you're locked and loaded, waiting for the enemy to charge, and then you will, fire at them and stuff like that. The perimeter-based security, there would be a unified or a UTM, Unified Threat Management Device, that would be sitting just behind your firewall. You would have a DMZ and so on. Microsoft argues, which I agree to some extent, that that is very reactive approach. A proactive approach is assuming that you have your organization is already compromised. You have already been compromised, but you have not detected it yet. So in place of having an internal environment that you trust, in place of that, assume everything, assume breach and trust no one. Every user, every machine, treat them as an adversary, ask them to identify or verify everything. Okay, so that is what we are going to use here. So we are going to focus on red teaming and insider attack simulation in the class, a bit on blue teaming as well. So what is going to be our attack methodology? We are going to skip the recon part, by the way, so that we can focus on more juicy aspects. We'll start with domain enum, go to local privask, admin recon, lateral movement, domain admin privs, cross-trust attacks, and finally persist and exfiltrate. Remember that this is a cyclic process, so everything can be done multiple times, can be repeated. What is it that we are going to target? We are going to target the lab environment, of course. It is for a fictional financial services company called MoneyCorp. MoneyCorp is our target. MoneyCorp has fully patched Server 2022 machines with Windows Defender. Excuse me. So MoneyCorp has fully patched Server 2022 machines with Windows Defender with Server 2016 Forest functional level. As we discussed, there is no Server 2022 Forest functional level or no Server 2019 Forest functional level as well. So this is fully patched till November 24, has the latest Forest functional level. That means that any attack that you learn, not the tool, but the attack technique, any attack that you learn in the lab will work for many years, many years. While designing this lab, I've specifically focused on attacks that have a very long shelf life, right? So do not focus on tools. I could already see that, and that is why I said, unfortunately, there is a lot of focus on AVs and tools. If you look at the questions that we have, and there is nothing wrong with that, but I'm just pointing that out because I can. We would see that the immediate worry that we have is about tools. Are our tools going to get detected? Do we need to modify the tools? Yes, absolutely, always. Gone were the days where you will have, let's say, a tool that would work without getting detected for years. Metasploit was the first tool that faced that right on their chin. Anything that Metasploit does would immediately get detected. Okay, so focus on techniques. Think this way. Okay, I learned this attack, let's say the golden ticket attack. How would this get detected? Or let's say I learned about this resource-based constraint delegation. Is this going to get detected? How am I going to abuse this in production? Do not think of, okay, what if the Rubius version that I have in the lab gets detected? You have the methodology. Obfuscate it, rebuild it. All right. Coming back to this, so MoneyCorp is better than, and I'm saying this with all of my experience and knack on the line, MoneyCorp, although designed to be vulnerable, is safer than 99% of the production environments out there. It is such a mess that you won't, it boggles your mind when you look at an actual production environment. All the machines patched up to November 2024 with Server 2022, come on. You would still see Server 2003 in production environments. So why am I saying that? Techniques work for a long period. Focus on learning techniques. Whatever you learn here is going to work for so many years here. How do you access the lab? I've already given you a walkthrough of the lab portal. Log on here and access the lab. This is what the lab environment looks like. As a student, we get access to the student VM in the $corp.moneycorp.local domain. There are multiple machines here. We have a child domain, a forest root, and an external trust with another forest. That is what the lab environment looks like.